force, and force is the fundamental physical quantity in the physics. Here, in order to make the physical change, if we want to make a physical change in the body, this is a certain body, if this is a body, and if we want to make a physical change in the body, if we want to make a physical change in the body, if you want to break the body, if you want to change the shape of the body, if you want to make any different appearance of this body, this means if you want any change, we change physical change, we change physical change in the body. If you want to make the physical change in the body, we need to apply the force. But we have to apply force. If we apply a certain force this side, then this body can be shifted from this place to this place. This is also we have changed the place of the body. Means here we have changed the place of the body. If you want to break this body into two parts, we have to apply a hammer here. We have to apply a hammer here, then body can be break into two parts, part 1, part 2. This means in order to make any physical change in the body, we need to apply the force. Here, this is the classification of forces. Classification of forces. There are 5 types of forces. First is a mechanical force, second is a magnetic force, third is a gravitational force, fourth is a electric force, and next is a nuclear force. This mechanical force means the force which is generate the mechanical change. Generate the mechanical change. Just if you want to change the shape of the body, or we want to replace this body from one place to another place, this is a body, and we want to replace this body, or we want to move this body, let us consider this is a shape, and if we want to move this body from one point to another point, we have to apply a force. We have to apply a force. This force is what is a mechanical force. Means if you want to shift this body from this point 1 to this point 2, then we have to apply a force. We have to apply here force. This force is called as a mechanical force. Or if you want to break this body, we have also applied to the force. This force is said to be the mechanical force. Now another force is important force is the magnetic force. Another important force is the magnetic force. Magnetic force is the force which attract the different types of magnets, or repel the different poles of the magnet. Suppose these are the two bar magnets. This is the north pole and this is the south pole. And if we place here the same south pole and another side is the north pole, then there is a repulsion of the force. There will be the repulsive force. This is called as the magnetic force. This is the magnetic force. If we place this same pole, this pole at the same side of the magnet, this is north pole of the bar magnet, this is the south pole of the bar magnet. If we place this both poles toward each other, then there is a repulsion in the similar pole. If we play, then what will happen? This bar magnet alternately try to go another side, and here this is north and this is south. Then now here this will be the north pole will attract the south pole, and then there is a attraction. This is a repulsive force, and this is a attractive force. Means magnetic force are there, repulsive force and attractive force. But here there is not attractive and repulsive. We have to apply force in order to make the physical change. Here the resultant of this mechanical force is a physical change. If you want to make the physical change, then we have to apply the mechanical force. If you want to break this object, the different smaller part, then we will get we need to apply the mechanical force. Now the gravitational force. Gravitational force is one of the fundamental force in the nature. One of the important fundamental force in the nature. Gravitational force existed in every planet. In Earth, there is the gravitational force. Inside the Earth, there is the gravitational force. This gravitational force is the attractive force. This is the attractive force. This force attracts the object from one object to another object. That means if this is the Earth and there are numbers of objects on the Earth, these objects always experience the gravitational force. All objects experience the gravitational force. Okay. Now next important force is the electric force. Electric force is in between electric charges. This electric force is existed in between the electric charges. And there are two types of electric charges, positive and negative electric charges. And we always know that the positive, which force? Attractive or repulsive? This positive and negative will be the repulsive force. And positive, negative and negative, positive always will be the attractive force. This is the attractive force. Okay. Now there is the last one and important force is nuclear force. Last one and important is the nuclear force. This nuclear force is existed inside the nucleus of an atom. And it is always existed in between the internuclear particles, means that is in force between the protons, neutrons, proton, neutrons and neutrons. Also there are number of elementary particles. These elementary particles also experience the nuclear force. This is the important forces in the nature. Newton's laws of motion. First, law of motion. Okay, Newton's first law of motion. Here, in order to understand Newton's first law of motion, we have to consider this one object. Suppose this one object is moving, and this is first object. This object is moving, and second is the object that rests. Also it has a rest. If the object is moving, and let us consider another object is at a rest. If this object is moving, according to the Newton's first law of motion, if the object is moving or rest at a position, the moving object will be always in continuous motion. This will be always continuous in motion. This means this object is moving, it will be always in moving. Always in moving until an external unbalanced force acting on it. This means that when the object is moving in motion, this will be continuing motion, just like Earth. Earth is in a motion. This is moving. Earth is in motion. This Earth is always in moving. This means that this moving object will be always in moving until कब तक moving? Until an external unbalanced force acting on it. Okay. And also, Newton's first law says that the object which is at rest is always in rest. Just like this scale. This scale is always at rest. कब तक रेस्ट पे रहेगी? जब तक an external unbalanced force acting on it. Okay, this is the first law of motion. This is what is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion? An object which is moving is always moving until an external unbalanced force acting on it, or the object which is at a rest is always will be at a rest until an external unbalanced force acting on it. This is the first law of motion. This first law of Newton's first law of motion is also called as the law of inertia. This law is also called as law of inertia. Inertia is the property of the body. Inertia is the property of the body. Okay. Now we will learn inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is the property of a body of continuous of its state. Continuous of its state. There are three types of inertia: rest inertia, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. What is the rest inertia? If this is a certain body which is at a rest, then it will be always is at a rest. It will no change. There will no change the position, shape, or size, or anything of the body until an external force acting on it. Until an external force acting on it. Second type of inertia is motion. Let us consider this is any object is in a space. Object is in a space. If we know that in the space there is no external. In the space there is no external forces acting on the body. In the space there is no external force acting on the body. This means that if there is no external force acting on the body and body is in a continuous state, it will be always in continuous state. This is due to the internal property of the body. This is the natural property of the body. If the body is in a motion, then it will be always in a motion. Sometimes any student can ask the question, why the object, if we move the car on the road, is it a motion, then why it will be stopped? Because there are gravitational force, there are frictional force, there are number of forces. Means these forces will stop the body. This means on the Earth's surface there is a major gravitational force is there, and gravitational force is an attractive force. This gravitational force hold the body on the surface. Gravitational force hold the body on the surface. Therefore, body cannot move until an external inherent force will move the body. Therefore, body will be, after ending the force, body will be stopped. Body will be stopped. This means that body cannot be continuous on the Earth's surface because of the gravitational force. But in space, there is no force. Then if the body is in a motion, it will be always in motion on its internal speed. On its internal speed. Okay. Now next is the inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. We are observing that if we throw the ball on one side, if we throw the ball from north to south, then ball will be always in north to south. Until another force from the west will come, and ball will go like this. Right? This means that when we throw an object or in space also, if there is no an external force acting on the body is going in one direction, it will be always going in one direction. It will be always going in a one direction. This means this is the inertia of a direction. There are major inertia are rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. There are important inertia which is important, and these are the results of the Hall's law of motion. Write down the friction. Friction. Let us suppose this is object. Is a problem, please? This is object, and this object is placed on the certain surface, and this surface is a rough surface. This surface is a rough surface, and we have to move this object from this side, from A to side B. We have tied a rope to the object, and we are pulling this object. As we are pulling this object, we are observing heavy load. If suppose that this object is a 50 kilogram, has a mass of 50 kilograms. Then we are observing that when we pull this object, then we are experiencing the heavy weight of this object, because there is a certain things is there. Another side, if we place the same object, same object on the another surface having the smooth surface, just like any ice bar, any smooth surface, and this is the rough surface. Then here also we are moving this object from one side, from A to B, and we are experiencing the certain smoothness and low weight of the object. This means here there are different experiences are there. Here there is a different experience, here there is a different experience. This experience, why there is different experience here? Why the object is feeling like a heavy object, and why the object is feeling like a light object? This feeling is due to the friction. This feeling is due to the friction. What is the friction? Friction is equal. This is if we are moving the object at forward side, this side, then there is a frictional force which is acting on a backward side. These are the equal and opposite forces acting on the same object. What is friction? Friction is the equal and opposite force acting on the same object. Due to the roughness or smoothness of the surface. If the surface is rough, then more friction. If the surface is smooth, there is a low friction. Okay?
Sir, मेरे problem
क्या मतलब?
problem जाने में जाऊँगा, ठीक चलेगा.
Now we will see what there are three types of friction. One is the sliding friction. Write down types of friction. Write down types of friction. Okay. First type of friction is sliding friction. Sliding friction. Second type of friction is rolling friction. Third and important type of friction is limiting friction. Write down. Limiting friction. Okay. Here we will learn types of frictions. Types of frictions. First and important type of friction is the sliding friction. Sliding friction. If we move the object or if we slide the object, this is the one object and another, we will also consider another object. If we slide this object, if we move this object on another object, this is sliding friction. This is the sliding friction. If we roll, suppose this is one object and we are rolling certain if we rolling this body, then the friction experienced by the body is called as a rolling friction. If we roll this body on the surface, then we get a rolling friction. And third is a limiting friction. A limiting friction means both the objects are static. If the both objects are static, this is the one, and another object is this, and these are the static objects. The friction generated by the two static objects and this contact force. Friction means nothing but the contact force generated by the two static objects. Static means steady objects. Suppose this is a wall. And on that wall we have placed a poster. Here we have placed the poster. Both are in a steady position. This means there is one adhesive force is